Blue Archive is a game where you invest 100% of your paycheck into questionably sized teenagers. You'll play as John Sensei, probably a guy who just got isekai. The city is called Kivotos. It is entirely made of schools, and only women, and also cat girls exist. Cats too. Do with that information what you will. Anyways. This is Rin. She's the hot elf girl you always wanted as a wife. She runs the city, somehow. Meet Yuuka. She is heavy. Hasumi. She can ball. Chinatsu. And Suzumi.
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
Because the student council president quit her job and forgot to hand over the password, the entire city is now on fire. So Rin hires you, a complete stranger, to run a federal investigation bureau called Shady. Due to this being a gacha game, you, the random adult male, are somehow the solution. Nobody trusts you for obvious reasons. Congratulations, you are now a daycare manager with federal authority. Anyway, 2 minutes in and we are still at the intro. Here's your brief tutorial on the combat of Blue Archive. Use your cards. Now for the gameplay. Blue Archive's gameplay is very simple. You click buttons. It is Microsoft Excel with anime. The main content is called missions. It is the same combat you saw in the tutorial, but with puzzles. The puzzles are not good. This is the end game. You will not solve this. Please, look up a guide. At the bottom is your taskbar. You probably have nothing unlocked, but here's a summary anyway. Cafe. You tap children. They give you money and stamina, just like real life. Lessons. You talk to students in private and gain infection. It is exactly as suspicious as it sounds. Next is students. Here, you can see who you have unlocked and who you hope you will unlock. You feed them clipboards for experience. You feed them crystals for potential. And you feed them artifacts, which does not make sense. It does not matter. You get stronger anyway.
That's quite big.
Formation. I forgot this button existed. Social. You find friends. You join clubs. You set assistants for your club members to borrow. However, no one will use them because you all have the same characters. I personally impersonate my club manager here. He has not noticed. Crafting. You take artifacts, put them into the machine, and get back the exact same artifact. But worse, it is random, and it hates you. Fusion. Here, you sacrifice a pile of resource for the single item you actually need. And then there's the shop. It is run by the cute and funny shopkeeper. She sells everything, from secret notebooks to rocks. Somehow both are considered important. And here's the bread and butter, the gacha. Now it's time for the gacha. This is where you take your hard-earned money and exchange it for the chance to not get a character you wanted. In most cases, you receive garbage. Congratulations. The base rate for a featured character is 0.7%. Statistically, you are not getting her. You will get a duplicate for a character you don't use, or a 3-star nobody asked for. Occasionally, you will see purple. This is an illusion of hope. It is not real. You will get a duplicate and it will be Saya. Wait, that joke doesn't work anymore. You can also save for a spark, which requires a total of 200 pulls. That is 24,000 per scenes, or, in real terms, approximately 2 to 3 months of non-stop grinding, or 120 in real-world dollars. If you succeed, you get exactly 1 girl. If you fail, you get depression and more rocks. This is considered generosity. There's a 3-month gap between new characters in Global and JP. This means you always know who is coming next. This also means you have 3 months to convince yourself you will save. You will not save. Anniversary, also known as Fest, is the only time rates are doubled, from 3% to 6%. This is advertised as a miracle. It happens every 6 months. You will still lose. Thank you for supporting Blue Archive. Real responsibly. Next is MomoTalk. It's basically Discord, but with children. And you, an adult. In theory, it's a messaging app where students text you for advice. In practice, it's legal liability. Sometimes you can reply with options. None of them matter. They all raise affection, and your chances of appearing in court. You can check how much a student liked you. The higher the number, the stronger the prosecution's case. At a certain affection level, you unlock their stories. Sometimes they are cute, sometimes they are tragic, and sometimes I personally ghost my students. The count is currently 264. I fear the day they find me. There's also event stories, sometimes beach, sometimes espionage, all times shrimp. Read them or don't, they are only here to distract you from. Welcome to the perfectly accurate summary of Blue Archive, a totally faithful retelling of events, verified by experts, and my own inability to read. Keep in mind this is not a deep lore video, it's a summary. The kind you'd write 5 minutes before an exam. So yes, I will be skipping your favorite character's backstory. Cry about it later. Welcome to Hyakkaryouran's Academy, a school so crippled with debt that they couldn't afford ammunition. Because priorities. You join the Foreclosure Task Force, a group of 5 girls armed with gun, grit, and common hatred against capitalism. Here we have Oji-san, self-proclaimed old-timer and the strongest. Scammed artist. Get scammed, not an artist. Rich girl. She could solve the crisis in 5 seconds but plot. Wolf. Professional payday 2 enthusiast. And finally Common Sense girl. Rare endangered species. Their enemy? The Kaiser Corporation, the most evil conglomerate since Adobe. And the mastermind behind it all. Black suit. Now, before anyone cancels me, he's literally a guy in a black suit. That's his entire name. Paperface is not racist, please do not tweet me. In this story, you will learn of the intricate art of shooting a word out of bankruptcy, and how your credit card is literally a plot device. Chapter 3 though is just hype moments in the aura. Welcome to the game development department. After being knocked out, you wake up at Millennium Science School. It's a school where science, gaming, explosions coexist peacefully. Here we have Momoi, professional gamer. Her twin sister Midori, the only member capable of forming coherent thoughts. And Yuzu, actual professional gamer, but with social anxiety so powerful it could power a nuclear reactor. Their problem? The club's going to get shut down by Yuka, the evil treasurer. Her crime? Following their budget. To survive, they must win the Millennium Prize. How? By making a perfect game, which is basically saying, to pay rent, invent Minecraft. However, Momo has a trick up her sleeve, the legendary G-Bible, the divine scripture of game design, allegedly written by Todd Howard himself. Nobody knows what it is, probably Google Docs. Along the way, they encounter Aris, professional Roomba. She speaks with all the emotional depth of an actual Roomba. So naturally, they decide to teach her by playing video games. Somehow, it works. After she have achieved the literacy of relatively normal, They venture into the engineering club to get her a weapon. She picks up the 200kg railgun, because of course she does. Why stop at London Embassy when you cannot obey the bombardment? Of course, Yuka, the evil treasurer, is suspicious, mainly because one of the club members was built in a garage. To prove their worth and secure the secret budget, they have to return to the ruins and secure the G-Bible. They install it onto Momoi's legally distinct Nintendo Switch, trademark pending. Unfortunately, it's encrypted. Because of course it is. Nothing in Millennium is ever normal. Even their USB drives require a PhD in goofy numbings. So they turn to Veritas, the hacking club, expert in cybersecurity, caffeine abuse, and telling you to turn it off and on again. But Veritas can't help without their special tool, the mirror, which was conveniently confiscated by the seminar, Millennium's version of the student council, leash holder of all budgets. So the team sets out to retrieve it. On their way, they encountered an unexpected obstacle. Maids. Armed maids. I wish I was joking. CNC. Millennium's own CIA. After the smoke clears, they finally got the mirror. They plug it in. It deciphers the encrypted code and reveals the message. Love video games. Truly, the wisdom of the ancients. Or the world's worst motivational poster. Momoi immediately declares the project doomed. But through the power of friendship, caffeine, and at least 3 illegal loot box mechanics, they somehow finish the game anyway. After another gunfight of course, with more mates, because that's just workplace culture around here. Miraculously, they win the Millennium Prize. Possibly because the game was so bad it looped back around into art. The club is saved, the students rejoice, and the Nintendo Switch remembers everything. It does not forgive. It does not forget. And someday, it will update its firmware with vengeance. Anyways, where were we? Oh, lovely. Okay, rapid fire violence because the editor is crying. Trinity, land of cake, tea, and borderline rape crimes. Nagisa summons us to teach students. But now that we think about it, we have not taught anything in the past 2 volumes, so that's going wrong. Meet the delinquents, lewd, closet lewd, war crimes, and normal. They fail their exams immediately, except Hifumi, who has a functioning brain. So they get shipped to study bootcamp, which is just good luck light. Nagisa plays chess with herself then reveals Trinity has a traitor, and is planning to sabotage the Eden Treaty. Probably important stuff. The girls arrive, immediately ignore studying, and clean the house for no reason. Mock exam, they fail again, except Hifumi. Again. Koharu then reveals that she's a spy for the Justice Task Force, which is just code because she forgot to study. Episode 16, Hanako debates bikinis versus panties. Peak cinema. Then Trinity's Princess Mika appears, and reveals the traitor is Azusa, which shocks nobody. Her uniform still has the other school's logo on. Mika says Azusa must be protected at all costs. At this point in the editing timeline, I will agree to anything if it lets me sleep. Volume 4, The Rabbit Arc, also known as Public Park Simulator with assault rifles. After their school shuts down, the rabbit students start living in the park. They survive on expired food from the local convenience store. Basically real life college but with more firepower. Problem is, no showers. So they borrow barrels and accidentally invent rabbit stew. Sensei gets kidnapped by the local homeless population for the crime of bento monopolization. Truly, the darkest of all crimes. He gets rescued once everyone remembers that he has plot armor. The rabbits then try to sell their extra guns for profit, which immediately backfires when the police point those same guns at them. The police chief learns corruption is bad. after being informed via high-caliber reasoning. And then there's another nuke plot. Please use your imagination. Welcome to Hyakkaryouran. Basically Japan, but if the national dress code is legally required kimono. We are summoned to Pania because a club called Nature's Beauty is trying to combat terrorism. Great timing too, because the school festival starts in like 5 days. To make things worse, Hyakkaryouran, the school's police but not really police, has been dissolved. So we try to help recover bringing it back by entering the traditional succession contest. Shoot the other person harder. Yes, that is the actual criteria. Yukari loses. Catastrophically. She is crushed. Emotionally and physically. And finally, we are done, right?